So it's been 45 years of life dealing with the trauma and the wreckage of my past, of being a victim of King County and the detention center and the judge and the guards and being sexually abused inside the detention center. So this is something that I've lived with my whole life. I've never really sought to bring a lawsuit against King County. This is something that happened organically and something that I definitely wanted to be a part of because I want to see some changes. Not only do I want to see some accountability, but I want to see some changes in the criminal justice system, especially when it comes to juvenile justice, because I feel like juvenile justice detention centers manufacture criminals. And I think with the privatization of prisons, that there's a certain incentive to manufacture criminals because the more prisoners you have, the more money you make. It's been really heavy for me. Trauma is something that lives in your flesh. It doesn't leave you. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in order for me to live a normal, somewhat normal life. And it's affected the way that I have relationships. I think I'm a more isolated person. I'm more somebody that is reserved and prefers to be by myself. I'm less trusting of others. And I am definitely not somebody that is going to easily be in a romantic relationship because I think there's a certain level of damage that I feel that I'm damaged in some ways. The worst part actually is the after effects. The 45 years of trauma, 45 years of dealing in therapy. Fortunately for me, I don't think there's an end game. I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I think the light just stays at the end of the tunnel. You never really get to it. You just keep going towards it if you want to heal. What I will say is that I know that a lot of people that were in my position were detached from their families and detached from guardians. So we were easier prey for people because we didn't have anybody that we would be able to tell easily. For me, I have been involved in nonprofit agencies and homeless youth for many years. It's been part of something that I've been very passionate about because disconnected youth are youth that are easily taken advantage of and stepped over. I think a lot of times people talk big words, but when it comes down to it, they don't really do a lot for people that are detached from the families or homeless or in the systems. And I think that's something that I definitely want to raise visibility about. But I also want to see infrastructural change. I want to see love and compassion and empathy brought into the juvenile justice system. I think it lacks that. I think it's important to have that, especially when you have children that are growing through their crucial developmental years, that they have love and compassion and support and inspiration to be somebody and to do something wonderful in their lives. I'm sure that had I not gone through this experience, I probably would have been a Tim Cook or a Bill Gates or somebody like that. Because, I'm a smart guy and I was a smart kid, but I definitely had some unfortunate circumstances that took me down another road. I just want to give hope to the other victims and anyone who's been touched by this level of abuse and injustice. And just say that, there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There's a lot of people whose lives are affected by this and they get involved in addiction and they live on the streets or recidivism or they get involved in the system. And it is possible to live a normal life. It is possible to get help and to reach out and to deal with this stuff. Therapy has been crucial for me in my life for many years. And I continue to do it and I will continue to do it because it's something that's really helped improve my life. But I just really want to give people hope to let them feel like they can speak up and really deal with what the totality of what's happened to them, because a lot of people don't even realize how it's touched their lives. A lot of people don't even talk about it.